Have you ever wondered why some of the kindest, most thoughtful people you know seem to have very few friends? If you're an INFJ or love someone who is, you've probably noticed this paradox. They care deeply about others, yet often feel isolated. Today, we're peeling back the layers to uncover the real reasons INFJs struggle to build friendships. Spoiler alert, it's not because they're broken, it's because they're different. Let's dive in. 1. The depth trap. Why INFJs crave conversations that most people avoid. INFJs are like deep-sea divers in a world full of people splashing in shallow waters. While others enjoy casual chats about the latest TV shows or weekend plans, INFJs hunger for conversations that touch the soul. They want to talk about life's purpose, human connection, or the mysteries of the universe. Small talk feels pointless to them, like chewing gum. It's fun for a minute, but leaves no nourishment. Imagine sitting at a party where everyone's laughing about a meme, and the INFJ is quietly thinking, but what's the meaning of happiness? Most people find this intensity intimidating or too serious, so they drift away. The INFJ, unwilling to fake interest in surface-level banter, ends up retreating into solitude. They'd rather be alone than pretend to enjoy conversations that feel empty. 2. The empathy overload. How feeling everyone's emotions backfires. INFJs don't just listen, they absorb. If a friend is stressed, the INFJ's chest tightens. If someone's heartbroken, they feel the ache too. This emotional sponge effect is exhausting. After a day of socializing, they might need days alone to recover, like a battery drained to zero. People often mistake this need for space as rudeness or disinterest. For example, an INFJ might cancel plans last minute not because they don't care, but because they're emotionally overwhelmed from consoling a coworker earlier. Over time, they start avoiding gatherings altogether to protect their energy. Friends see this as rejection, not realizing the INFJ is simply trying to survive their own sensitivity. 3. The perfectionism paradox. Why good enough friendships don't cut it. INFJs have sky-high standards, not just for others, but for themselves. They dream of friendships where both people support each other's growth, share core values, and connect on a spiritual level. But in reality, most relationships are messy and imperfect. The INFJ might meet someone kind and fun, but if that person doesn't get their deeper side, the INFJ pulls away. They'll think, why settle for a surface friendship when I know what true connection feels like? At the same time, they beat themselves up over tiny mistakes, like replaying a text they sent. Was that emoji too much? Do they think I'm weird? This constant self-criticism makes them seem distant or overly serious, pushing potential friends away. 4. The secret sanctuary. When solitude becomes a safe but lonely habit. For INFJs, alone time isn't just relaxing, it's essential. They recharge by reading, journaling, or getting lost in creative projects. But there's a catch. The more they isolate, the harder it becomes to socialize. Think of it like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. An INFJ might spend weeks happily alone, then suddenly realize, wait, when did I last talk to someone? By then, friends may have stopped reaching out, assuming the INFJ isn't interested. Unlike extroverts who gain energy from parties, INFJs leave social events feeling like they've run a marathon. Over time, staying home feels safer than risking another draining interaction, trapping them in a cycle of loneliness. 5. The intuition illusion. Reading between lines that aren't there. INFJs are human lie detectors. They notice when a friend's smile doesn't reach their eyes or when a text message feels off. But this gift can become a curse. For example, if someone cancels plans, the INFJ might spiral. Was it something I said? Do they hate me? Meanwhile, the friend just had a flat tire. This overthinking leads to self-sabotage. The INFJ might distance themselves to avoid imagined rejection, leaving the other person confused. While others brush off misunderstandings, INFJs dissect every interaction, turning minor issues into friendship-ending dramas in their minds. 6. The idealist curse. Falling in love with potential, not people. INFJs see the best in everyone, even when it's not there. They'll stick with a friend who's clearly toxic, thinking, if I just love them enough, they'll change. Conversely, they might ignore someone kind because they don't fit the INFJ's vision of a perfect friend. For instance, an INFJ might dismiss a cheerful, laid-back coworker who loves pop music, thinking they'll never understand my dark poetry. This all-or-nothing mindset limits their connections. They end up clinging to draining relationships or waiting forever for a mythical soulmate friend who checks every box. 7. The chameleon effect, blending in so well that no one sees the real you. INFJs are masters of adaptation. At a sports bar, they'll cheer for touchdowns. At a poetry slam, they'll discuss metaphors. This chameleon act helps them fit in anywhere, but at a cost. No one ever meets the real INFJ. They become a mirror, reflecting others' interests to avoid judgment. Later, they feel lonely, thinking, why don't they know I hate football? The friends they make this way like the version of the INFJ they've created, not the true self hiding underneath. Over time, the INFJ starts to wonder if anyone would love them for who they really are. 8. The future focus fallacy, prioritizing tomorrow over today's connections. INFJs are always planning next year's goals, saving the planet, or their personal growth. But this future-focused mindset steals their presence. While friends are laughing over inside jokes, the INFJ is mentally designing a nonprofit or drafting a novel. They forget that friendships are built in the now, through shared laughter, spontaneous coffee dates, and silly moments. People sense this distraction and feel unimportant, even if the INFJ cares deeply. The INFJ then wonders why their bonds feel shallow, not realizing they missed the chance to deepen them in everyday moments. 9. The trust tightrope, guarding secrets like a dragon guards gold. When INFJ opens up, it's a big deal. They might share a childhood trauma or a deeply held belief, hoping for equal vulnerability. But if the response is a casual, "Oh, that's interesting. Want fries?" the INFJ feels crushed. They'll think they don't care and lock their heart away. For example, an INFJ might confess their fear of failure, only to have a friend joke, "You're overthinking." The INFJ then vows to never share again, building walls so high that even genuine friends can't climb them. 10. The energy accounting, why every social interaction has a price tag. INFJs don't hate people. They hate energy drains. Before any social event, they calculate 2 hours at a party equals 3 days of recovery. Is it worth it? If they suspect the conversation will stay shallow, they'll bail. But friendships thrive on consistency, showing up for birthdays, random texts, and casual hangouts. By only engaging in deep moments, INFJs miss the glue that holds relationships together. Friends feel like they're always chasing the INFJ, who's waiting for a meaningful reason to connect. 11. The justice junkie, taking stands that isolate them. INFJs have a fierce moral compass. If a friend makes a racist joke or bully someone, the INFJ will call them out, even if it costs the friendship. While this is brave, it often leaves them standing alone. Most people prefer keeping the peace over confronting hard truths. For instance, an INFJ might refuse to attend a gathering where someone toxic will be present, even if it means losing friends. They'd rather have no friends than compromise their values. But this idealism can lead to loneliness. 12. The hidden depths, when others can't handle their truth. INFJs often have unconventional thoughts about spirituality, society, or human nature. But sharing these feels risky. Imagine casually mentioning you believe in reincarnation and getting awkward silence. So the INFJ swallows their words, sticking to safe topics like the weather. Over time, they feel like a stranger in every conversation, screaming inside, "This isn't me." But the alternative, being fully authentic, could mean rejection. It's a lose-lose. Loneliness as their true self, or loneliness in disguise. 13. The burnout cycle, pouring from an empty cup until there's nothing left. INFJs are natural caregivers. They'll stay up until 3 a.m. counseling a heartbroken friend or donate their last dollar to someone in need. But they rarely ask for help themselves. Pride? Fear of being a burden? Either way, they give until they're running on fumes, then disappear to recover. Friends interpret this as abandonment, not realizing the INFJ is emotionally bankrupt. For example, after months of supporting a friend through a breakup, the INFJ might vanish when they need support, too afraid to say, "I'm not okay." Conclusion: if you're an INFJ watching this, here's what you need to hear. You're not too much. You're not broken. The world just isn't built for people who feel this deeply. But those who do stick around, they'll see your heart, your mind, your fire, and they'll cherish you for it. And to everyone else, if you meet an INFJ, be patient. Dive deeper. That quiet person in the corner, they might just become the most loyal friend you'll ever have.